I am alive, boys and girls. How is everybody doing tonight? We got people in the house already. Good to see you. Hope I'm alive. Looks like I'm alive. You can never tell sometimes. I think I started. Yeah. All right. Ow. Hurt myself. I've already hurt myself. I'm wounded. I'm hurt. Scott's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Just waiting. Yes, Scott. Expat in the Philippines. Man, mass quantities of things to be done. Mass quantities. I was watching a lot of videos all day long. All day long, man. It just dumbfounds and blows your mind. Dennis is in the house. That's right, Dennis. I am Super Pack, leader of the pack. I am in the house, not in the hospital. Get this out of my ear. I've been working on a video. I had that in my ear. How are you, Dennis? Good to see you. A little banged up, but nothing horrible from the surgery. We're going to talk about a lot of sad things today, I guess. I hope everybody can hear me well. It's I did a bunch of watching the videos and
ways of working can be hard to let go of.
And doing some other things today about the flood in the Philippines. Yeah, Lorelai is here somewhere. She'll probably stop in. I think she was acting like she was cleaning house earlier, Dennis, So she knew you guys were going to be on here, so she thought she'd get house cleaned. But now she's somewhere. Lorelai will pop in. Luckily for me, she only took yesterday, surgery day, and today off. So that's all she took off, which is not a bad thing. But let me see. Man, we'll let more people come in here before we get too deep into the subject matter. I'm trying some different camera stuff today to see if it works or not. Make life easier for my eyeballs. Because I'm getting old, man. But, yeah, let me get there. All right. Want to thank everybody for the thumbs up, the shout outs, the share outs. So, this was a big shock to Cebu, even though we know about typhoons coming. With the aftershocks, we were not prepared. Yeah, Scott, I got a bunch of notes I made about the flood situation now, because this hit actually where Lorelai's from. So, I mean, it literally would have wiped us out again. So, it's kind of crazy, and I think there's a lot of contributing factors to this. I really do. I'm inclined to believe it's not necessarily just environmental. I do think sometimes the planet kind of resets itself or adjusts. So it's kind of like El Niñas or La Niñas when they come through. I think there's points in time in the planet where it decides that it wants to do something. And I believe, and I hope this is true, that right now the Philippines is getting rocked between all the earthquakes, all the tsunamis, this horrible flood. Hopefully, when this cycle of earth violence is over, then maybe the Philippines will have a long period of peace and calm, is what I hope. Don't know, don't have any proof, but that's kind of what I hope. Because I believe that happens. I believe it happens. The real question as we look at this is, could this have been prevented? Yeah, it could have been. I think it could. Well, let me say this. Now, you can't prevent the rainfall, but you can prevent the or mediate the damage that is caused by this. And I know there'll be a lot of controversy about it and a lot of people thinking about it, about, well, what do you mean? How is that? And so forth and so forth. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So, right now, I tell people, because I've had people message me already, I would be very careful about the money situation in the Philippines. Everybody's going to be clamoring for money. I'm one of these people that kind of believe this when it comes to assistance. I think it's more important to provide assistance down the road. Because right now, what are they going to be buying? I mean, everything's a shitstorm, right? So they're going to need money down the road. They're going to need assistance and help down the road. Not today. So I encourage people to kind of just wait it out a little bit. Don't be worried about giving money. Just wait a little bit. Because electricity's down, ATMs are gone. Sending money's not going to do you any good. So just give it a time. Let them kind of get back on their feet. When they come out of the mud, so to speak, and the garbage is getting picked up, roads are opening up, and people are trying to rebuild their lives, then this is where you want to step in and say, okay, I can give you some money to help them facilitate that. Right now, they don't know what they would need the money for. Right now, what they need is what's on the ground. What they're going to live with is on the ground. So they're going to dig out of the mud. And I saw videos today where they were talking about this. They're going to dig out of the mud food, drinks. Sorry stores are trying to recover all of their supplies. They're going to try. I need to Google how many died. I haven't done that yet. Let me see if I can do that. So they're going to work on body recovery if that's the case they need to do. Let's see if it has a death count yet. As of right now, from the Philippine Star, they're saying 48 people have been confirmed dead in Cebu due to the flooding of Typhoon Tino. So it's going to go way higher. Now they're not going to be. I hate to pick on the Philippines, but they're not going to have an accurate account. And to be fair, when Katrina hit America, we didn't have an accurate account of all the people that died either. So they're not going to truly know who all died. They're not going to have a good number. Politicians will probably jack it up and try to use it as a method to get something, all right? But so right now, roughly 50 people, but I guarantee you there's a whole lot more. I've saw enough of the river flooding, and we know the river, to know, and I saw enough people trying to, you can't survive that current. When, I'll tell you, when a current, and currents are powerful and strong, but when they can move a boulder that weighs 10 tons like nothing, and that's what happened. Coming out of those mountains were boulders, gigantic boulders and rocks coming through that water. That's so powerful, you cannot survive that current if you get in it. You can't do it. And then, of course, it's going to be like a concrete mixer. And meaning you're going to get caught up in it, the flow of it, all the rocks, the debris, the wood, Everything else is spinning and turning, and it's going to chew you to bits and pieces. And I promise you, there's people that got caught up into that they will never be found. Either they're washed out to sea, or they're just so mangled and battered and beaten that it's unbelievable. So I know that's sad to say, but it is reality. On my channel, we try to keep it real. The cleanup, man, is going to last forever. I mean, they were still just dealing with the earthquake, right? Earthquakes. So, what's going to be interesting long term, I believe, is how does this truly change the Philippines? Now, I'm going to go and say it's not going to change anything. They're going to have to get some help to get all of that river rock from the mountains, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, down, removed from the city streets where it overflowed into the cities and crushed cars and people. So, but right now, and somebody tell me if I'm wrong, if you're catching this on the replay, that's fine. What they're doing is they're scavenging for their lives. They're digging through, they're looking for bodies. They're looking for food, looking to see what is salvageable, what rice did not get destroyed, how many pigs died, how many chickens died. So that's what they're doing now. Right now, they don't need cash in hand. They're too busy worrying about and trying to figure out how to survive the next couple of minutes. So, and the next hour, and the next 2 hours, and 3 hours. And they will survive and they will do it. As I always talk about, the Philippine people are some of the most resilient people there is. So let's give them time to get some things done, to get a little bit on their feet. Let's give them a little bit of time to get over the how dramatic this is, how tragic it is. That's the word I'm looking for. The tragedy that they are involved in. And then we can help them out. We can help them rebuild. Help them be able to get supplies they need to fix houses. The government's going to have to step up one way or the other in the Philippines, which is bad. Now, and I'm going to go on record to say, I personally believe the government is partially at fault, without question. So, there's some things that the government is allowed to do, that corruption has come into place. Greed that has led to this devastation. Now, yes, even if the world was perfect, they would have had this horrible typhoon, and things would have been bad. But I promise you, it would have been much different if there's certain things that would have not have happened over the last 30, 40, 50 years. Scott, good to see you. How are you, buddy? Yeah, I'm hanging out. Lorelai's in the other room. She's going to come in and join us a little bit later. I just kind of ranting about the Cebu thing, and Mandawi and Bogo and Mactan Island and all of that. And, people, a lot of people want to say, let's not worry about who to blame. And I kind of disagree with that. I think until you find blaming the person who is at fault is like finding the root cause of a safety problem. So as a safety manager, safety director, safety personnel, safety expert, part of my big job was, when something happened, was to go out there and find the root cause of the incident. And I know the Philippines is not going to do this. Lucy, good to see you. How are you, Lucy? Hey, let me interrupt something real quick and tell Lucy something. Lucy, a few weeks ago, I was doing a live stream at the park with my dog. And I wasn't able to read the chat because I was going down a bumpy path with the dog in the scooter cart. And I didn't catch it until later when I went back and looked at the chat. I think somebody was rude to you in my chat. I don't remember who it was. I don't. I don't remember what the context was. But I'm sorry I did not catch that while it happened. Because if I would have caught that while it happened, we would have addressed it. So I just wanted you to know that. So, but thank you for being here. Help every country comes in with better rescue format, American, Australia, European forces. Well, I think, Scott, yeah, our people are all alive. Everybody's alive. They got a lot of destruction, but everybody's alive, Scott. I think it's time. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of search and rescue going on. What the country of the Philippines needs is they're going to need to rebuild, reorganize, restructure. They're also going to need a plan ahead. And they don't do that. And this is where I get into the root cause of things. So, as a safety guy, I would look for, if you had an accident in the workplace, why did you have that accident? I want to know the root cause. So, what's the root cause of this devastation? A lot of people who, I guess, don't know any better or don't think very far really believe it's just the typhoon. The root cause is the typhoon, the weather. It's not. Jimmy's in the house. Everybody say hello to Jimmy. Jimmy, good to see you. I'm back from the hospital. I got home yesterday, so I'm still alive and kicking. So, but Jimmy, it's good to see you, my friend. How are you doing in your part of the world? So, if you guys want to see my battle scar, I'll show you a little bit later. Yeah, you might have to pay money to get to see my battle scar. Now, I don't get the stitches out for about a week, so I can't show you the wound. You'll all have to wait. But I do got some topless pictures I can show everybody. And I am making a video about the whole procedure. So, I believe to go forward, you got to look at the root cause. I'm doing all right. I'm still tired today. The incision's pretty sore. Yesterday I didn't have any pain, so I may have overdone it. But today, is pretty sore. You can see I got a thingy there. So the outer part hurts, not the incision. So it kind of hurts. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Had a headache today and stuff like that. So I've been popping some Tylenol. But I'm fine. I went to the Asian store of Lorelei and got her some fish. And she got a bonus fish, the little lady. We go to this little Asian store by our house. And the lady's Vietnamese that works in the kitchen. Well, her and Lorelei have hit it off somehow. They can't talk to each other, except for with the translator. But she's always giving Lorelei extra food for free. So today she went and bought one fish, I think it was a pompano, and had it fried. And the lady gave her two of them. So my wife is having a good day. Well, Scott says, but anyway, Jimmy, I am good. Thank you for asking. Root cause is and starts with us. Well, I guess the real question, yeah, humans are the root cause. Greed is the root cause in this case. So, why this devastation has happened is because of the corruption in the Philippines, the willing to make money and sacrifice the environment over making money. Like deep fried pompano, yeah, that's what she makes. She gets deep fried, deep fried and give it to her. But they gave her a bonus one today and only charged her like $4.99 for two fish. So the lady was feeling generous today. Yeah, I'm up and doing all right. I've been trying to move around. I don't like to sit still too long. So I always believe that after you have medical or something, if you can get up and move around, get the blood and oxygen circulating, it's a good thing. My lab work came back a little off, so there's some things in my blood that's no bueno. See that? Now I know Spanish. No bueno. So, which is interesting. I got to dive into that more. I don't quite understand why I have such of a low CO2 level, but I got to kind of figure out that. And I got some other issues in my blood. So, so yeah, we're doing pretty well. Planet cleanup. Well, what it was, I believe, is politicians and corrupt companies deforest the hillsides around the river and the mountains, right? And what a lot of people, unless you really think about this from an environmental standpoint, when you take the trees away, you take the roots away. When you take the roots away, you take the string, so to speak, that's holding the land together. And then when you get a massive typhoon like this one, and it was massive, but I don't think it was anything out of the ordinary in comparison, you get great devastation. So the raping of the land, so to speak, in the Philippines for profit definitely has led to the experience that's going on right now. Jordan's in the house. Good to see you. How are you? Good to have you here. So, hope everything is going well for you. So that's, and you take the trees off, you kill a hillside. They don't believe in replanting. You know, like here in America, we do that. I don't like deforestation in America either, but we do replant here. They don't do that in the Philippines. If the Marcos government wasn't so corrupt, they would be better prepared. Well, it's all the governments, even Duterte, who I liked. You know, they're even the ones before him. This has been going on for administration after administration after administration. Now, a lot of wheeling and dealing behind the scenes to rob from the environment for profit. Scott saying hello to you, Jordan. Saying, hello, how are you today? And then what happens is, and also you got to remember now, the string holding the earth together is no longer there. The vegetation that would suck up some of this water and hold some of this water, slow this water down through the filtration process is no longer there. Then you have a situation where Lucy, I hope you got my apology, Lucy. So I hope you heard my apology. Jimmy, yeah, I've heard of corruption and it's on all levels. It's even part of it's part of the culture. I mean, you can't get around it. If you want something done faster, you just pay the guy a few more pesos and you get moved to the head of the line. I fully agree, more plants, more trees in Cebu and surrounding areas would be far better. Yes, but right. But they sold them off for profit. Got rid of them for profit. So you have, and look, I'm not an extreme environmentalist. I consider myself kind of a naturalist. I believe there's a happy balance between nature and mankind. I think nature and mankind can work in harmony and benefit each. And we should try to benefit each. There's nothing wrong with us taking advantage of nature by any stretch or using the resources available. But smart people will reinvest. It's kind of like the fishing industry. You can't, or the crabbing industry. You can't just take, and expect it to keep giving and giving and giving. You can't do it. Then we have problems with encroachment on the banks of the river, not understanding that you need a nice big floodplain. Like in a lot of parts in America and other first world countries, you're not allowed in certain areas that are floodplains, or you're not allowed to build. You can't industrialize certain areas because it's a big floodplain. But in the Philippines, you can pretty much build anywhere you want. That, and I understand that's based on poverty and need, but that leads to itself to a putting you in a risk, right? Now the other problem we have that disturbs me in the Philippines living there, being there, is the trash. And I've said this on video after video. The Philippines is a beautiful place. But the Philippines is one nasty ass country. It's disgusting. They do not take care of their environment. If the Philippine government and the people had pride in how things look and didn't have garbage piled up everywhere, trash piled up everywhere. This is pre-flooding. Because partly what happens is all that garbage backs up as like beaver dams in rivers. We still have movement underground. That's correct. That's right. The Pacific Rim is still moving underground. The tectonic plates are definitely moving. They are. They're moving all the time. And that's what I meant earlier, Scott, when I said what I really believe there's a resetting. So right now, the plates are moving, they're jumping. Eventually, they're going to calm down and be stabilized. I believe that. Because a lot of times, when they're doing this, once they kind of do this, they stop for a while because now they've released the tension. There's not as much friction or pressure between the two plates. And that allows a resting period, which is a good thing. Bad thing that this has to happen, but that's what happens. All right, Galactic Gaming's in the house. Everybody say hello to Galactic. Good to see you, Galactic. Gaming's in the house. Thank you for being here, sir. Condolences to you, my friend, with your father and his eyesight. So, but when we build makeshift dams in floodplain areas, beaver dams, because I don't know if you guys know what beavers are, but there's these furry little fat, smelly creatures that has a big paddle. They chew down the trees in America and they build dams and block up waterways. Same things happens in the Philippines, but usually it's trash and garbage. I'm doing all right. We had the surgery on Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, so I made it through surgery. All right, Scott, appreciate you. Tell everybody, tell the family we said how old are you? Yep, I'll get some more rest, I hope. So, yeah, I'm doing all right. I feel all right. Pacemaker, I'm making a video. I'll get it all wound up one of these days about the whole procedure if anybody wants to know about how to do pacemakers. But it was a pretty simple surgery. Basically you go in and they cut you open, take your battery out, put a new battery in, and kick your ass out of the hospital. I do think, I'm hoping that I did not get a pacemaker from Temu. I don't know where they bought it from, but I'm just hoping it's not a Temu pacemaker. I hope they splurged and got me one from at least Walmart. I had the pacemaker changed. I have a pacemaker. I have a 3-lead defibrillator / pacemaker is what I have. And the battery, I've had it long enough. What happened was originally I had a pacemaker, but they realized that it wasn't adequate to do the job. So about 3 months after that, I got this one. And so it's been about 10 years, actually 9, and the batteries ran down, so they needed to replace the unit, the power unit. And so basically all you do is cut open your body and unplug it like literally like a 9-volt battery, plug another one in, stick it back in there. Pretty all you do. Well, Jimmy, the key was I had to pay $350 out of pocket. I don't know, that was the whole cost or maybe the insurance is going to kick in. I don't know how much the insurance is kicking in. I'll find out. But yeah, I'm hoping they didn't give me a Temu one. So, And yes, of course, glad it went well. Did you die on the hip? Not this time. Not this time. I did before, but not this time. Anesthesia wise, yeah. No, not the first time, but when they changed it out and put this one in, I did, and we had problems. So transitioning from the 1 lead to the 3 lead, because they got to put leads into your heart through your artery, right? So they put, and I show it on my video, with little power strips connect to your heart. So they got to stop your heart to do all of that, and they had problems getting it going again. Grandfather died for 7 minutes having his change. He said he had no idea. It just felt like a nice deep sleep. Yeah, it's not Timu. Timu is only $1.90. Woohoo! Unless I got overcharged. Maybe they charged me a server charge. We have some friends that Lorelai likes to torture. They're from the Philippines too, a little couple. We like them. And we mark everything up. Lorelai does. I don't do it. But it's kind of like we're going to go watch a Christmas thing, and the tickets were like $50 each, and they always pay their share. So, but Lorelai told them that their tickets were going to cost them like $400 because the ticket was $50, and she had a surcharge of $350. So they could have gave me a big surcharge for ordering me one from Temu. So I actually have it here, not the pacemaker because it's in my body. I actually don't know where it's made from. I might have to Google to see where it's made from. The company's based out of Minneapolis, but I might have to figure out, maybe it's Chinese made. So, yeah, this one was pretty short. I was in the whole operating thing for about an hour, less than an hour. In and out, because literally all they had to do is unplug and plug. Easy going. Yeah, and it's in their culture. It is. Yeah, it is. It's just funny. I feel bad, but Lorelai's, well. I saw some of your unboxing reviews. You got some great views on there. Maybe you could do one. Yes, I'm going to. Doesn't arrive trashed in the train. No, I'm going to do a review video. Trust me, I'm going to do an unboxing review. I got something new to help me with that. You guys want to see what I bought new? Hang on. Apparently, I don't care if you want to see it or not. You're going to see it. All right. All right, am I here? All right. So I got something new. And we are going to do an unboxing, but I have a lot of problems doing unboxing because it's hard to do things holding a camera. And if you're positioning with a tripod, it's, the camera angles are bad. So I bought one of these. I don't know if you guys know what these are, but I'm going to show you. Now I had to modify mine because I'm so fat. The strap, this is a chest strap, right? It was the one that came with this too small. I just happened to have this industrial strength like come along thing in my closet. So let me show you how it works. So you kind of put it like this. All right. And get that around your chest. You tighten it up, nice and good. We better not do that too much. And then this part goes around your neck like this. I know it seems goofy and weird. You guys see that? Let me just stand up. There you go. And then you put your camera in this. And I don't have an extra, do I? No. So look, you mount your camera like this, or your phone, or you can, and then this turns, and then this rotates, and then this swivels like this. So I've started to use this on my last couple, and it's made it really easy because now you can just kind of woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. But you do got to get kind of used to either flipping the screen over so you can watch what you're doing through the camera, or being able to peer around and over it. So this is something new that I got. It wasn't very expensive either, because I do cooking and I have so many things, but it's hard to do with one hand. And then of course you might want to go, oh look, you know, here's this, put that back, you know. So something I bought recently. I don't usually buy much stuff because I'm poor, but this is great. So when you're, oh crap. And then you push this button to get out, or push that button. And this is actually pretty comfortable. I was shocked. Really nice and comfortable. So when your watch comes in, Rob, I'm definitely gonna unbox it with this. So that's my new gadget now. I got a lot of camera gadgets I don't like and don't use. And they're like a GoPro. I hate the GoPro. Hate it. But it might, I don't know, I hate the GoPro. They suck. So I need to just sell it. It looks very handy. It does. It's good. Wow, Rob says, sorry, Rob, let me get caught up here. I can't believe I'm finally saying this, but I am 9 days weed free. That's really good. Now, Robin, Galactic, and interesting twist from our conversation earlier. Does the doctor think weed, like for glaucoma, might help your dad? Was it your dad? I think it was your dad. Galactic, I was thinking that was funny looking bong too. Oh, a funny looking bong. You people. So, you guys are just jealous. Just jealous. But it works. I mean, I'm shocked that it actually worked. I mean, it really works nice. So I'm looking forward to trying to do more with it. So Galactic, when your watch comes in, I've been blessed. Young Mr. Galactic is sending me a watch all the way from across the pond. And as long as it doesn't get crushed or stolen by UPS or whoever, then we're going to do an unboxing video. And then I'll also do a live stream about it too, so we can have some fun with it. Okay. Okay. All right, Galactic, yeah. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Do you look decent?
No, I look ugly.
Lorelai's going to come say hi to everybody in a minute.
No, I look ugly.
She says she looks ugly, so she can't come say hi.
I'm always ugly.
Oh my God, such a drama queen. Fortunately, not as cells in his cornea are dying unfixable. Okay, I got you.
That's it. That's it.
That's it?
Yep. I'm home. I didn't work.
I'll look at the message, but Johnny sent us a message saying we could stay at his house if we wanted.
Are you kidding?
No, but I don't know if I want to do that.
Why? It's free money.
We're planning a trip to go to Dallas,
It's expensive.
and
There's a hotel, but those are it's expensive.
we're planning a trip to go to Dallas, and they want to stay overnight.
There you go.
Yeah, they want to stay overnight, but we don't have anybody to babysit Lily, so we have to take Lily with us, which means we got to spend a whole lot more money on a hotel room or an Airbnb or something. So, and that's us and our other friends, you know, what we call the little people. They're going to come with us.
And we're the big one.
We're the big people. Ow! Woo! See how bad she is, everybody? She hit me. Did you guys record that, how she abuses me? You hit me, abused me. It's all right.
Oh.
Everybody's saying, hello, why isn't this scrolling now? There we go. So, yeah. So, we're thinking about, we have to go to Dallas in November. And we're taking our friends with us.
I'm gonna bring
We're
Jody or something.
And then, I don't know, my brother's offered to let us stay at his house, all four of us plus our dog, but I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I got to figure out something else.
Well, if it's not, it's not. I'm just gonna save money.
Well, I'm just
And I
saying.
want to play their pool.
Galactic says, please, that's sure, be good. Galactic says, police are on the way. Thank you for calling them. Her name is Lorelai.
Hey,
Make sure they get some handcuffs and some whatever else, shackles.
police are on their way. My
Yeah, for
goodness.
assaulting
Oh
me.
yeah, you know my address. Then
Yeah,
that's so
right.
bad.
Scott is back in the house.
Hi, Scott.
Scott and the family is there. So, you know,
Come on, little girl.
because we don't have the people that are going with us are our dog babysitters, so we don't know what to do. Yes, can I help you? That's Lily. Daisy's dead. How's your foot today? Here's her club foot. This is her bad foot. Yeah. How's it?
Just heavy.
You smell.
Oh,
You stink.
Good.
You stink.
Don't hurt her feeling. You're the baby girl.
So,
Hello, my baby girl.
so my brother lives down and close to where we're going.
All right.
So I got to think about if we're going to stay there or not. I'll think about it.
So how about they will let Jovan and Michelle go there?
Yeah.
Huh? That's what he said?
Well, yeah. I haven't read the
I'm
message.
gonna beat them next time at the pool.
Oh.
My God, we buy a pool. Oh my God.
We're not buying a pool table.
All right, done.
We're not buying a pool table. Thank you, Galactic. My brother has a pool table, and Lorelai's found out that she likes to play pool, and she keeps thinking we need to buy one for our house, which isn't happening. I just getting something to drink. Poor Lorelai, she doesn't smell. She smells good. No, it was the dog that stinks. It was the dog that has doggy dirty breath. So my dog has turkey breath, you know. So, so I got to figure out if I feel like it's appropriate to stay at their house Saturday night when we go to Dallas. Plus I got to get the girls to figure out what they're doing in Dallas. You know, because I could drive to Dallas 5 hours, do what we need to do, turn right around and drive another 5 hours home and be back home in 12 hours, you know. And then, of course, they got to go by Jollibee. So, they want to go by Jollibee. Well, yeah, I agree with you. We wouldn't buy one. Trust me, would not. Now, the funny thing is my brother actually uses his a lot. They shoot pool, him and his wife shoot pool 4 or 5 times a week. They play 1 or 2 games together while they unwind from the day and they BS with each other, talking trash about the pool table. But I agree with you. I mean, it's like the treadmill Lorelai wanted. Well, we got a treadmill. We do. I think it has less than a quarter mile on it. If anybody wants a treadmill. So, hello, Galactic from Scott. But I agree with you, Scott, man, let me tell you. I'm still waiting on Jolly Bill to come to Atlanta. You got one in Orlando now. Did you know that? I do believe the one in Orlando, Florida opens up now. So from Atlanta to Orlando, you're talking about 6 hours or less? 5 hours? Jimmy, help me out with that. How far from Orlando to Atlanta? I think it's about 5 or 6 hours. So you could hit Jollibee. Yeah, Scott, you were right. My brother bought one, used it a couple of times, and ended up using it as a dining table. I know. Quarter mile. Yeah. It's right there. Yeah. No, we had to buy it. So really, I was just in Orlando, 8-hour drive. Oh, it's 8 hours. I didn't realize that far. Yeah, let me double check real quick. I know they were going to open one there. Orlando, Florida. Let me double check, but yes. I thought it would be cool to have a, yeah. Oh, sorry, let me look. Is that Orlando or Tampa? Sorry, it's in Tampa. Sorry. which makes sense. It's actually in Clearwater, Florida, and I'm going to tell you why it's there. Because you know, me used to be a smart guy, so I know some things. It's over by St. Peter's. Why they put it there is because of the cruise ship industry. Because when all the Filipinos come off of the cruise ship, they will go to Jollibee. So put your money into clothing, those Philippines, and box of food to help who won't have anything for Christmas. That's right. And Scott, I agree with you. We got to help them out, and we will, of course. But we got to give them a little bit of time to get the mud out, to get reset back up, and then we can truly help them. Now, if you want to get ready to send before Christmas, I think it'd be hard. I don't think you could get anything before Christmas. Not from America. So, oh, that's right. You got back from your cruise. How was your cruise, man? I forgot that. We will be sending money over to the Philippines once they get going. So we will be doing that. If anybody wants to chip in, you're welcome to. Our PayPal's there. You don't have to. We'll do the best we can. So, how was the cruise, by the way? Tampa's 9 hours. Okay, that's where it's close to the cruise ship port. Scott says Balik Bottom is full of clothing cause they will need it. They will need clothing. I would agree with you. I see Joe. Joe and Jenny Journey in the house. Everybody said hello to Joe. Joe said hello to everybody. Ah, that makes sense. Yes, that's why it's there. Good evening from Joe. That's what we are doing. Be there by February. There you go. There you go. Cruises is always good for me. I love cruises too. I was talking to the people that cut my skin open and poke me and hurt me about going on cruises. We love cruises. We just don't get to go because we're poor. And Lorelai likes to work. So if we were rich and she didn't want to work, we could go like every other week. But yeah, so what I recommend is give them some time in the Philippines to kind of get on their feet a little bit, to get a structure, and then you can help them out. You know, ATM machines aren't up and running. You know, you got to give them a little bit of time before you can actually help them. It's not going to help them right now. So that's my advice. I don't know if anybody agrees with me or not, but when you're ass deep into mud and destruction, somebody's sending me $20, $100 on Cash App isn't going to help me because nobody's taking it. Nobody's using it. So give them a few days to get up and running again, and then we can contribute. But I agree with what Scott says. If you got a bunch of extra clothes for your Filipino family, box it up and ship it over. You know, even if it doesn't get there until February or March, I'm telling you, they're going to need it and they're going to want it because there is clothing and household goods destruction everywhere. Refrigerators are gone, cars are gone, motorcycles are gone, dogs are gone, people are gone. All right, Jimmy Cruise always good. Hey, Joe and Jenny from Scott. I've never had a bad cruise. Never either. Never either. Our personality would never have a bad cruise. Because if it was going bad, I would figure out how to enjoy it. If we were hit by a hurricane and we were being tossed around like potatoes, well, I would figure out how to enjoy it. Because I know that maybe I would get a free one the next time. So I can't keep my eyes open. One of the main withdrawals of quitting weed is night terrors. Damn. I'm getting about 3 hours of good sleep at night for the last 8 nights. Galactic, I don't know. I haven't decided. This weekend probably, I don't know. But I'll message you and let you know ahead of time. So, but you need to get some rest if you're having night. I know what the night terrors are. I've been there, done that, and I have them myself. My dog, Daisy, passing away was the one thing that kept me from having night terrors. Lily does an okay job, but Daisy did a better job. So maybe get a puppy and let it sleep with you. And when you have night terrors, it's going to wake you up and take care of you. That's what happened to me. Nice to go on, but for me, it's the rich. Typhoon was in Cebu area. It was where we lived. Yep, typhoon was in Cebu, Mandawi. God, even the Negros Oriental or accident, or which one of the Negros, Bohol, Mactan Island got hit, everything. So, yeah, Surigao Island through to Cebu, it was a big one. The thing I was talking about earlier was the flooding, the trauma from the flooding, the dig out, the corruption, and why. And that's what I feel bad about is I know a lot of people are going to get ripped off in the Philippines. The Philippine people, the poor people, the ones in need are the ones who's going to suffer from this. The rich people in the Philippines are going to continue to be rich because now they're going to sell a bunch of cars again, or they're going to sell a bunch of refrigerators again, right? Jenny is fine. She told me that the typhoon was in southern Philippines. All right, nice. There's my views, your world. Good to see you. How are you? Now, you're still in the Philippines. You haven't left to Thailand yet, right? So it's good to see you. I hope you're safe. My dog sleeps in my parents' room now. She used to sleep with me, but her bed's a lot bigger. She's chosen her favorites. All right, I appreciate you, Galactic. Everybody say goodbye to Galactic. Wish him well. He's got some bad news, so send him some good thoughts. So we appreciate you, Galactic, and I look forward to the watch coming in the mail all the way from the UK. So I'm excited about it. But get some rest. Get some rest. All right, planning your trip right now? All right, so I know you guys were here. You're over by Angeles City, so I don't believe you guys got hit. Mactan got a lot of winds, but no reported damage. Okay, that's where one of the places we lived was on Mactan Island. We had damage from our Typhoon Odette for sure. Good evening, Pat. It's Philippine Dream is in the house. Good evening, Pat. How are you tonight, my friend? Everybody's hello. Was on reason, was spared. Jimmy, hey, my views. Yeah, you know, it's you got to watch some of the videos. It's amazing what Mother Nature can do, but this is, I believe, caused by greed and corruption over the years. I'll say again, it's not Mother Nature's fault that did this. It's the fact that they clear cut the forest off the hills, off the mountains, by the rivers. They logged it. You know, logging contracts went to buddies and friends and politicians. They stripped the land, which, if you don't know, here's what happens. If you got a forest on a hillside, you take the trees away, what happens? The root systems die. Your root system is the glue that holds the ground together. Yes, the trees suck up moisture, which helps in all the other plants, but once you kill the roots, the glue system, everything else dies and comes loose. And then you get a flood like they had because more of the soil, the land is loose and it's going to be ranched out and that's where you get these boulders, you know, 10-ton boulders laying in your streets. My views saying hello, Brother Scott. Hey, Pat. Hey, Pat. So that's partly what happened. Then, of course, that's the environmental factor. These hillsides give away all these gigantic boulders, go into the current, because I'm telling you, water current is one of the most powerful things on the planet Earth, right? Period. You get a strong, heavy current, you're not going to survive it. So it's flushed, not only all those boulders, but all the trash and garbage along the way. Hello, my views, your world. Hey, Pat, everybody saying hello to each other. You guys all give me a thumbs up, by the way. Please do if you didn't do it already. And then you have the human factor, the human environmental factor, where you get gigantic trash piles that act like beaver dams. And that backs up the rivers and backs up the fingers of the river, if you want to call them that. All the creeks that go off of the main river, those get blocked from garbage and trash being thrown into them, and the water spills up over into the land. That's what happened in the Philippines. That's a hello to Galactic. Yeah, Galactic went to go take a nap because he's tired. My views, your world gives us a thumbs up. Thank you, appreciate that. So, That's what happened, you know. And could have been prevented? Yeah, it could. Right now, I saw the total about 50 people are reported dead. I think that number, we will never have an accurate count of how many people died in this flood. We just won't. So, but I can promise you it's way more than 50. Because anybody that got caught in that current has been pulverized. So right now, reportedly 50 found dead. They're going to find more bodies, but they're going to find they're never going to find a lot of people. And that's just the way it is. And that's what happens. So I hope everybody that you guys all know is doing well in their part. Hulk smash the like button. We need that. Ouch. We need lots of likes. I'm a little sore today. There's my wound. So I got my bandage on right there. I am working on my pacemaker video. But what's weird is all of this stuff around here is sore. But you know, they go in and strip my skin apart. And they probably went in there and played with my muscles and, you know, and made fun of me while I was asleep and all kinds of things. Yep, I had the surgery done on Tuesday. So now I have a brand new Temu, all the way from China, pacemaker defibrillator. Brand new from Temu. It only cost $350. They paid $1.99. They did not. I asked again and they refused. They gave me the bullshit story about, well, it's because of the lithium ion battery, like it's nuclear. Yeah, well, I got a lithium ion right there in my garage. Come on, you know, we got some right here in the house somewhere. And the battery's going dead anyway, right? No, I asked, and you'll, if you can hear on the video, Lorelai's on the phone talking to one of her girlfriends. So it's kind of hard to hear what some of the nursing people were saying. But I also asked him, I said, now look, why can't I get a trade-in discount? Kind of like when you buy a car or a loyalty brand discount. I'm getting the exact same brand that I had before. I should get a discount for being a loyal customer. You know, trade-in allowance, something. So, but the answer was no. But thank you for asking. You know, snotty people. But yeah, the surgery only took about an hour, a little bit less than the actual procedure. So it didn't take that long at all. The good thing was I didn't have any adverse reactions to the anesthesia. It was a mild one, which means I didn't wake up trying to poke everybody in the face. One of the last times, I think when my heart stopped, one of those times when I was dead, when I woke up, I was extremely pissed off. And I went a little apeshit and tried to punch people and beat them up. So apparently that happened, but not this time. This time I just woke up. But I did warn the people beforehand, and maybe that's why they strapped me down. I had straps on my legs, straps on my arms, you know, strap on my head. Like, oh, you know, felt like I was Hannibal Lecter. Do they let you know? Temu Heart, that's it, man. You know, $1.99, they charged me $3.50. What a deal. What a deal, right? I don't know where it's from. I'm going to Google where it's manufactured. I got it right here. So I had to register it online. And the cool thing, well, I guess it's cool, I don't know, is this one has an app. And you use the app as a device. It talks to my phone. So it tells my phone everything that's going on. And then I guess it's sent down to the device clinic so they can monitor it. So that's partly what happens, but there might be somewhere in the book here where it says made in China. You know, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if they admit to where it's made at. You know, where is it made at? China. Will I be able to drive? Well, I drove today. I didn't drive home. I let Lorelai drive home. I had to take anxiety pills, you know, just for the drive home. That was the worst part of the operation. We did come home, we made it safe. So surgery all over with. In about a week, I go in and they take the staples out. Maybe I can keep the staples. Maybe they'll let me keep that. Lorelai's going to try to record it when they do it. So Lorelai's going to try to do that. But she did get some decent video, I guess. Nothing in the operating room. They wouldn't let me bring the camera in the room. They said it was unsterile, so they didn't want it there. That's right. $6 million man. He died in 2025 and is alive in 2025. That's right. Wish I had $6 million. I'm still trying to get that $5 million just to buy a beach house, Scott. And not doing too good at that. So, but it would be nice. It would be nice. But yeah, bionic, right? What did he have? Steve Austin was his name, right? Wasn't he a runner and one arm was really strong? Their camera. Well, they probably recorded for their own purposes, but you're right. They're not going to want me to have a copy of that because what if they screw up, and I have it, and then I go to sue them, and I have the evidence of them doing bad things, right? So they're not going to do that. They don't even want to be recorded in any way, shape, or form. But it's all right. I feel, yeah. This arm, I gotta admit, this arm, because this is where it is a little tingly, but it's all right. It's all right. It'll be better in a week or two. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the settings are right. What they did do was there was a guy that came in and used a computer, read the device I had, the settings, and then I guess in the operating room, he sits in the corner, and when they hook it up, he actually pulls it up on the computer and configures it just like the one I had. And then when I go back in a week or so, they will make sure all the settings are correct and working well. Is part of what happens with that. So I don't know. It wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I'm glad it's over. We've been waiting quite a while. Now, here, I'll tell you one interesting thing, and I know Lorelai and I talked a little bit about what's going on in the Philippines and about the fact that if we would have been living there, we would have been destroyed because we're right there. But the weird thing I thought about just a little bit ago is we were never planning to have this replaced in the Philippines. So what's weird is this. If we were still living in the Philippines and we're all set up, there's a really good chance that we would be in America right now having this done, right? So everything that we owned in the Philippines would get destroyed while we're in America. Weird, huh? Makes you think. So all the effort we put into that would have been destroyed while we're in America. So we wouldn't have anything in the Philippines to go back to. We would have lost everything. Kind of weird if you think about those things, right? I mean, the earthquake broke one of our family houses, right? But this flood and all this would have took us out. It would have. David is now, let's see. If they leave something in you and forgot to take it out, that's why they don't like filming. I agree. I mean, sponges, extra sutures, dollars. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're playing cards on our chest while they're doing it. But yeah, they don't want to do any of that. Scott says, it's okay. Your country's got you covered. Yeah, but weird, right? I mean, wouldn't that be weird? Wow, well, that was interesting. But it would definitely be hard if we were there, for me, no question. Me surviving this flood would have probably not happened. So there's a reason for everything. Because, I don't know how well I could climb up on rooftops to avoid the flood, to avoid all the damage, the currents. And my personality is the type, I would be one of the idiots out there trying to jump in and do things and help people and wind up getting myself ran over by a 20-ton boulder. So, that's kind of how that would have worked, for me. But I survived surgery. Hopefully our good people in the Philippines will survive from their experience, which I know they will. They will. And I got a message here from somebody. Oh, I got you. All right. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the Great Flood? Do you think this is going to be one of the worst disasters that they're going to have to respond to? Or are we thinking this is just another day in the week in the Philippines? I tell people all the time, the local people are more resilient, more resourceful than we can imagine. They will. I saw videos today where they're just digging through the mud, finding the soda, finding the drinks, finding the rice, finding the food, the stuff from the Sari Starry stores. They're trying to get their food supplies back up out of the mud that they didn't, that got washed away. I've seen a video where they're getting tummy tucks on women, end up leaving the knife inside the skin. Wow, big lawsuit on it. Ugh. I would hope so. I know for sure, Pat, that there was a case, several cases, where they've left sponges in people. And I know one lady had a sponge in her for like 20 something years. And I guess the human body saw it as a foreign object and it attacked it and started building like a mass around it. So after 20 years, she had this huge mass in her intestines and had to go to the doctor, you know, and all of that, and complaining about this. And they finally did exploratory surgery and they found a sponge from a surgery 20 years ago that was encrusted with human flesh or human whatever gunk, and took it out. But I bet you the statute of limitations to sue was gone, right? So she probably had no recourse. So yeah, you definitely. It's always good to double check to see if your doctor is sober. You know that he's in a good mood, that they're not fighting in the OR. You know, that they all like each other. It's questions because, you know, they always talk to you a little bit, or me anyway. And the people that were working on me actually have, one girl has a Filipino boyfriend who's in the medical field, and the other one lived with a whole bunch in Alaska. So we got talking about food, and I asked them, did everybody get them, you know, because I have a lot of questions always. So does everybody get along pretty well here in the operating suite? And they're like, oh yeah. Like good. It's good to know because I don't want you people hating on each other while you're cutting me open. You know, don't be putting any hate in me. Scott says it's the worst I've seen, but they will end up back soon. All the scrap will be moved and broken down over time. People in Cebu are tough. They will get through it. And they will recycle this. This is one thing I tell people. They're going to go through the garbage, the trash, the rubbish. They're going to pull out building supplies, tin. They're going to use what's on the ground to rebuild. Now, it may have came from somebody else's house 2 miles up the river. Same thing with the food that's been washed out. You know, the animals that got lost. They're going to just rebuild with the materials around them. And they will do that, and they will be successful. The only thing I think they're going to have trouble with, is what I think, would be all the boulders and river rubbish that came out of the mountains. Because this is the first time where they've had 10-ton, 20-ton boulders by the thousands everywhere. So they're going to have some serious heavy equipment to get those boulders somewhere, and they're going to have to put them somewhere. And they need to think about wherever they put them, they better not make a worse environmental condition by stacking them up and making a dam out of them. When I have a hernia surgery down below next to the groin area back in 1998. I woke up during surgery. It hurt like hell. I was pissed waking up. I bet. Yeah, I'd be mad too. You know, they just turn the gas up a little bit more and put you back out, right? So those homes that have just shells will be reused. They will. That's what I mean. They're going to round up all the hollow block they can find that's in good shape. The bad hollow block will go and be crushed and made into hollow block again. You know, the bamboo will be reused. What can be reused will be reused. Furniture will be reused, cleaned up. You know, the plastic stuff that survived will be reused. The only problem is all the garbage. I don't know how the Philippines tackles their garbage problem. I don't know how to solve the garbage problem for the Philippine country. I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. I don't necessarily like the thought of giant incinerators, or grinders. Dumping it in the ocean. None of those things are viable. I wish the Philippines was a country that worked really hard leading the world in how to recycle and reuse. Because I think they had got a gold mine. If somebody was really ambitious, had the time and the money to invest in the Philippines, I think you could go in there and start some recycling facility, some way, shape, and form, and one, help clean up the country, make the country better. But you could also turn it into a business and it would have a lot of smaller business in association with it. So I just wish they could figure out how to handle their garbage better. I really do. Maybe they need better sorting centers. There's plenty of workers, right? I don't know how to help them. I do think part of it would be a marketing campaign. You have to, holy crap, I didn't see that. I got a light burning through a picture of Lorelei. Huh, I'll have to look at that in a second. I didn't think this had any power. No. So, maybe there's plenty of manpower to do work in the Philippines. But you got to have a culture, a changing culture. You got to have a culture that says, we don't want trash everywhere. We want to pick it up. We understand it would be easy to throw all the diapers and garbage over in the ditch at the neighbor's house, but it's not what we need to do. It's not good for the country as a whole and for my neighbor, myself, and anybody else. There is a big scrap place near Mactan Bridge. Yes, and the two bridges, but I am sure they will mount along the yeah, they're in the flatlands there. They are. So they do have, but and maybe I'm being picky, Scott, but so you got a metal scrapyard by the water, and they're cutting and grinding those different metals. Where do you think the slag and the debris is going? It's going back into the water system, and that's a horrible way to do it. It just is. So I see those there. You know, I've seen them. And I know what they're doing, and I always looked at it and said, that's just I get from a shipping standpoint, but if you don't have a containment system in place, you're contaminating the water around you. You're putting heavy metals into the water system, which is not good for the Philippines. But I go back, and Scott, you probably don't know this from being from Australia, but in America in the 80s, Pat might help me with this one. In the 80s, we had a big campaign here about not littering in the United States. TV ads, TV campaign. It was in the school systems. They started off trying to convince people littering is bad. And it really helped. They started enforcing fines on the highways, things like that. Giving out tickets, but it was more of a psychological campaign not to have your beautiful America look like trash. And I think the Philippines would benefit from a change in mentality and culture when it comes to that. And that's where scraps near the old scrap areas for the old boats. Yeah. No, I know what they're doing there, Scott, and I get it. And you got to have a scrapyard near the water. Every country does. But I just worry about the containment of the contaminants because we know they're not being cautious like Germany would be, or Switzerland or Ireland or Australia maybe. So, because, and I think if they did this, and this is, and I don't understand this because what you guys have to understand, if the Philippines got cleaned up, if they changed how they see their home country and they took care of it, they would all be richer in the future. Because I personally believe the Philippines can be beautiful. It's not, but it could be. Tourism would skyrocket, not just guys looking for wives, but tourism in general would skyrocket. More industry would come there because they would want to do business in an environment that's nice looking and pleasant. The Philippines has the workforce. They have the pleasant people thing down, right? But if you want to lift the Philippines out of poverty, clean it up, let investors come in, let the people get to work where they make a good living, and that's how you can rebuild the Philippines. You can. And if I to be honest, if I was the president, if I needed to mobilize the military to be a part of this, to get it done, not meanly, not going around with guns in people's faces, but if I needed to get them and their shit together like we would do the National Guard in America to work on this, I would do it. But I would get celebrities, people that are admired, religious people, all to do an advertising campaign about making the Philippines beautiful again. And it would work because it worked in America. So, because just think, if it wasn't the way it is, Scott, Pat, everybody else listening in the background, don't you think it would be awesome? I mean, right? I mean, it'd be an amazing place. It just would. It'd be like Aruba and Curacao and all these other countries that are about the same distance around the equator that are beautiful, clean, organized, easy to get around in. So, and they're wealthy. They got money coming in from all kinds of resources. So that's what I think. I mean, am I wrong? Probably. I don't know. I mean, but it would take somebody in the Philippines, a leader, who's not hung up on becoming rich themselves or taking advantage of the situation to do that. It would take truly a person who cares more about the Philippine country and the people than themselves. Somebody who'd be willing to sacrifice and stand up against the easy thing to do is to trash the place versus doing the hard thing because it's the right thing. Tourism has been down for a while, but too much investments in the Philippines not good. But they would need scrap boats for all those containers and cars floating out to sea. Yeah, I agree. But you do got to have some industry there. I mean, besides call centers. Because right now, what we think about with the Philippines is call centers. You got to have some other decent manufacturing in the Philippines. Besides, because a lot of the men can't work in the call centers because they're not educated enough. They don't speak well enough to do that. A lot do, but most, you know how it is. So we got to find an industry for them to do, whether it's the metalworking industry, getting that organized better, recycling, going through the garbage, taking out the trash, the paper, the plastic, and the aluminum, the glass. All of that stuff is recyclable into other forms. All the tires laying around, is a big thing in the environment now to shred the tires and turn them into asphalt. So there's a lot that can be done. That's not done because nobody wants to go through the hardship of getting it done and putting the money in place. But there's a gold mine to be made in recycled goods in the Philippines, I think. Maybe you're just a break-even type if you do the business, why it's not worth it. But at some point in time, even Mexico, which is, I think, trashy, they got sections of it where they do exactly what I'm talking about. The east and west coast of Mexico on the oceans, well, what are the Gulf and the ocean? they work hard to keep it clean because they make better money. It's just the way it is. I mean, tourism is down, but they could bring it back. And I guess the question would be, why is tourism down? Scott, do you know? I mean, I don't know. Have you done any research or listened to anybody who talked about why tourism is down in the Philippines? I mean, it's a great question. Why is it down, I wonder? I wonder what the cause is of that. Let me see if I can Google that real quick. I know right now it might be because of all the turmoil from the environment. I've talked to a lot of guys on the internet here who says, I think I'm going to be leaving the Philippines. I think we've had enough of earthquakes and typhoons. I'm going to go back to my home country. Some of them are bringing their wives. Others are going to petition to bring. All right, so let's read this. Why is tourism down in the Philippines? It's down due to a combination of factors, including 18% decline in Korean tourist arrivals. 34% drop arrivals from mainland China. Now, I remember one time doing a study or reading about how they changed the rules. Kanisha's in the house, so you guys all say hello to Kanisha. How they changed the rules for the visas. So you had to be, instead of from Korea, you could be like 35 and get a permanent residence card. I think they changed that to 55. So maybe that affected that because too many Koreans were coming over and getting visas. Kanisha, good to see everybody. Hello to Kanisha. Yeah. We use rubber, right? We pulverize it. We do the same. We put it as playground material. Pat says, hello. My wife is doing great. She's in the other room. Maybe she'll come and say hi to you if you want. Hi, Kanisha. So they changed the green card, if I remember, I may be misquoting the visa, but basically I'm going to call it green card. Before, Koreans could come over at the age 35 and become permanent residents. Now it has to be 55 and they have to have so much money. So maybe that's a factor. 34% drop in arrivals from China. Surge in criminal incidents targeting Koreans. So apparently there's been crimes committed against Korean nationals. And so the Koreans are not coming to the Philippines due to that. There's a travel advisory in Korea not to go to the Philippines. Okay. Let's see. So that's a big factor there. China went down by 34% in January through April versus the same period. Decline is likely due to China's current economic climate. So China's not coming because they're struggling financially. The Department of Tourism has a goal of attracting 8.4 million inbound visitors in 2025. However, the last given performance of 5.9 million, 7.7 million targets short of that. Current trend tourism experts anticipate 6 million arrival by the end of the year. So they're going to be short several million. So, and then of course, look, a lot of people are going to say, Kanisha's saying hello to everybody. So thank you for that. So a lot of people say, well, it's because of the expats not coming. Well, look, I promise you, us expats make a very small percentage. I don't know. Of all the percentages of people in tourism, we can't be that many. We probably can't be more than 10%, if lucky. And there are a lot of expats that are no longer going to the Philippines looking for women. I've been talking to a lot over the last couple of years, and they're not as interested in the Philippines as they used to be. That's the trend I see. Why, I'm not for sure, but there's other options, the whole being scammed puts a lot of future expats or people like us off. Going good, Kenesha Pat says. I'll be honest with you, those who goes to the Philippines and their passports are still, we are easy to criticize Philippines badly. We need them to F off and just stay in their own countries. I would agree to a point. I do think that you got, and you know, and we all know that the Koreans and the Chinese come there to do business and to basically use it as a playland, right? And take advantage of whatever they can get. So, and they don't feel like they got to contribute to the Philippine community or society. It's their way of coming in and taking and not giving. I agree with that. So the expats, let's just say, we'll call them expats. I don't know what you want to call them, white guys. I don't know what you want to call us. But men who are looking, a lot of them don't, it's just the girl thing like in Thailand, Scott. Kenesha says, I still have a little bit of cold. All right, well, I hope you get over your cold and start feeling better soon. Weekend's right around the corner. So, I would agree. And part of your point is, as a visitor, if you don't like it, don't be there. Same thing in America. I tell people all the time, if you don't like America, don't stay here. If you don't like Canada, don't stay there. If you don't like Mexico, don't stay there. If you're going to bitch about a country, leave. You either, you know, and that's not easily done, but it's the truth. Hope you're feeling better. Remember one thing, you go to the Philippines, your country is no better traffic or other things. They build their homes and realize it's not what they think. Well, there are a lot of guys, I'll say that let me find some words, Scott. I don't, to be honest, Scott, I don't know what a lot of guys think they're getting into. You know, single guys, I think a lot of them think, and this is kind of funny, I think a lot of single guys go to the Philippines thinking, hey, I'm going to, and most of them are heavy drinkers, not all, a lot of them are heavy drinkers. Hey, I'm going to get to drink all the alcohol I can because my money's going to go so much further. And I'm going to literally have a different beautiful girl chasing me every day. I'm going to be living in utopia. I'm going to be sitting by the beach every day drinking and girls are going to be chasing me. That's not the reality. It's not. You know, I think a lot of them kind of have that vision in mind. I don't know. You want to say hi to my wife? Lorelai, are you still awake? Would you come in and say hello to Kenesha from New York? I'll see if she still can come in, Kenesha. And then, of course, I really believe this, and I've talked about this a lot, Scott, and everybody else. I think a lot of people find the Philippines boring. I think it's boring. And I think a lot of people get there and they go, well, okay, now what do I do? Well, there's not a lot you can do. I guess you can go to the mall or you can go to the beach. What are you going to do? So I think a lot of these guys, now the ones that have families, right, Scott? I think the ones that decide to have children, because the children help to keep them occupied, it gives them a purpose, it gives them a reason. I think they do much better. Family men do much better because they have something to focus on. The single guys, yeah, I mean, Kenesha is saying, how was your heart surgery? It was good, all done. I got a big patch, a big bandage, so I'm all good. Lorelai, I don't have my phone, I'd text her. So, Scott, I don't know if you agree with me or what your thoughts are on that, Scott. No, I would agree. And those people need to just stay where they're at, but they're not going to because they can't get anybody to spread their legs in their home country because they're old, fat, disgusting, or they're alcoholics. You know, people don't want them in America or Australia or Germany or wherever, or Canada. So they're not wanted there. So they think they can go to the Philippines and live like a king and be a king, and women will drool all over them and want to be with them. You know, but it's only the bad women that want to be with them because they got some dollars. And once they kind of learn that, they kind of go, oh, but if they're serious alcoholics, they'll just latch onto one, and then they're there as long as they can drink. So thank you, Kanisha. Appreciate that. So those type of guys, I agree should stay home. Passport people, whatever you want to call them. Sex tourism, whatever you want to call it. Same thing in Thailand and Vietnam and all these other, Mexico, Jamaica, all these other countries, right? Maybe, I don't know, you guys have anything like that in Australia, but I think that's a good point and a problem. But until the women in the Philippines no longer seem to be desperate to get out of the Philippines, that's not going to change. If the Philippines was a second world country versus a third world country, and then and if they had industry, jobs, and a quality of life worth living, then they wouldn't want to get out of the Philippines. I mean, we've talked to a lot of people all the time. And the weird thing is, it seems to be more and more that good Philippine, let me say this, good Philippine people, male and female, who maybe are educated, well-adjusted, are wanting to get out of the Philippines because they see that there's no true future there. That I've talked to some of them, they're like, look, we love our home country, but look, we recognize what's going to happen to us. We're never going to get very far in this society. Even though we have good jobs and we work hard, we can only go so far. And that's why a lot of them want out of the country. Scott says, me, I love the Philippines. It's the same traffic and same beautiful country. That's great. You know, but you're a family man, right? So I think there's a big difference there between you and some of these single guys, right, that are doing that. But I think I have a true story my ex-wife showed. All right, let's talk about that. Lorelei, can you come say hello for 1 second? Kanisha from New York, not Nisha, but Kanisha wants to say hi. Pat says, I have a true story my ex showed when I was in my late 20s, when I was 30 days something. How many have you seen?
What is it?
I don't know what you mean, Pat. Open lake, no water. There. Hold on, Pat. Kanisha from New York would like to say hello to you. She's not feeling too well. She's been a little sick this week. Kanisha, this is the wife, if you don't remember. So she's the female, not me.
Yeah, I'm not working today because I need to take care of this.
She took the day off to babysit me, is what she did. Everybody say hello to Lorelei real quick. Give Lorelei a thumbs up, shout out, you know. So Pat, explain what you mean a little bit.
Why you call me? Why you call?
So Pat, you're saying, explain to me a little bit. Oh, you've seen dead bodies. I got you. In a pond or a lake. All right. You're talking about in the Philippines? You guys saw that in the Philippines? Or your ex-wife saw that in the Philippines? All right. I believe it. That's, third world countries are notorious. Disasters happen. Were they murdered or were they, disaster?
Why so dark here?
Oh, she took you on a tour of that. Ouch. That's not very good, Pat. Kanisha says, hi to you, wife. That's you, by the way. What? It is.
A stock.
Done by disaster. All right. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I would have took anybody on a tour of that, Pat, to be honest. It wouldn't really be my cup of tea to go and do that.
I'm so tired.
She's asking how your day was.
I'm so tired watching my husband.
Watching me.
Yeah.
Watching me, watching you, watching me, watching Lily the dog. So yeah, Pat, you know, if your ex-wife thought that was a good idea, that should have been a giant red flag, right?
Oh, speaking of that one, did I eat?
I don't know. What did you have for dinner, wife? You haven't had dinner yet? I don't think she's had dinner, so she's gonna have to have dinner. I didn't like it either. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you know, I'm pretty scientific. Things like that really don't bother me emotionally, but I don't see any logic in it to go do it. So, but I think Pat, I mean, obviously it was a big red flag, and you've seen how that turned out. If she thought that was, you know, something to see. Now, I'm all about historical stuff. I like to see where disasters happened, you know, cemeteries, battlegrounds. You know, I would love to go to Germany and see some of the what do they call it? Concentration camps. I would like to experience, you know, that from a historical standpoint. But just, you know, Scott, expat in the Philippines, says, hi,
That
beautiful.
will be me.
Oh, I thought you meant me. Scott, who do you mean, me or her? Yeah, just asking. I had a hot dog for dinner. I like hot dogs. We have a hot dog on the floor. It's about 30 pounds now. So we have a 30-pound hot dog. I like hot dogs, but I think I don't like them as much as I used to. I can't find any really, 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 really good ones. That makes me happy. So, but what are you going to do, guys, right? What do you got to go to, yeah. Lorelei's going to go back to work tomorrow. So, my first time seeing Brother David, it was gross, crazy shit, and didn't like it. Well, I don't blame you, Pat. The real question is, why did she think it was a good thing to show you a pond full of dead bodies? You know, a dried up pond full of dead bodies.
Who's the what?
His
the
first
dead
wife.
bodies? What's the dead bodies? Human?
Yeah,
Well, where do you get the pun with the
from
dead
a,
bodies?
from a disaster, he says. Thank you. You like my pink shirt? Thank you very much, Kenesha. Oh, wait. Maybe she means you. Do you mean her? Her pink shirt?
Where's he from? No. Is that a male or female?
Female. From New York.
Yeah.
She's a young person. She's from New York. New York.
What's New York?
Yeah, I don't know, Pat. But it's definitely a big red flag, right? And you see where it wound up and got you. So you're better off now than you were. That's the key to remember. You're better off now than you were back then. So, you know. You're so funny. See, everybody thinks you're funny. It was red flags, that's right. But you were in love, Pat. You saw
I don't know why they said it's a red flag. You know, red flag stand for war.
warning. Yeah.
War.
Warning.
No,
Stop.
I mean, like,
A red flag in America is kind of like a
I
red
know,
light.
but
It's kind
I mean, literally the flag itself, when
Yeah,
you reverse
but
it,
it's
it's
kinda
war.
like-
The other side, it's
well, it's kind of like a red light.
yeah,
So we take a red light into a flag and say that's how we do it. It's like a
I know
green
what
light.
exactly they mean, but it's sort of like a literal, like red
Yeah.
flag,
Battle
like
flag.
a war.
Yeah, red flags.
In the Philippines, it's a red and a blue and red. When it's a war, they flip it.
A lot of countries, we don't do that. In America, we just kill people. It's history. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's history. I like history. I'm a big history buff. I like knowing things. Long gone. That's right, Pat. Don't stress over it. You know, that's the key. You're better off now than you were, so you just keep doing what you're doing now. And it'll be party time in Pat's land. So, Lorelei, it's history, he says. That's right. Party time for Pat. We're still trying to convince Pat that he shouldn't give up his dream of going to the Philippines next year. He's got some things to take care of in America, but he still should go. All right. Yes, yes, Pat says yes, you're right. What am I calling you? What?
Why you want me to be here?
Now you go now. Somebody's walking outside their doggy. We're gonna get over him. That is so morbid. Well, it's just weird. You know, I mean, I do have a weird curiosity. You know, things don't really gross me out or bother me. I find things very fascinating from a historical and scientific standpoint. I really am one of those weirdos. But, you know, there is a line to cross from pleasure to scientific study and research. And maybe she was trying to scare Pat off. Or maybe, you know, she thought Pat would enjoy seeing that.
No, it's just like presenting, hey, there's like unusual things, so look at it. There's no really behind the reason or motive on that one.
You think?
Yeah. Because we're just like curious, like everything is curious in the Philippines. It's like, hey, come on, look at this one.
All right.
Well, I don't know. What do you think? It would be a motive for you if I told you, hey, there's dead rat there. Can you get it?
Well, a dead rat's different than a pond full of dead bodies.
Yeah, because they think it's unusual, so you must look at it.
Ah. Pat says, me don't like that shit anymore. Halloween, overnight marriage, Pat just as well. It's 2 p.m. here in
that's the one
Australia.
with Australia.
Yeah, he's in Australia.
Is it that man married with Arlene?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
how's Arlene?
Scott, did you hear Lorelei? She's asking you a question. She's asking how the family is. He's been doing a lot of videos of his birds. I've been watching his bird
Oh,
videos.
that's the one with the cool birds. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah, the pretty
that's-
birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really insulting me when I have the
Yeah, he
dove and
I know.
I have 3 birds here.
We have boring birds.
Before where we live.
Ozzy's in the house. Good to see you, Ozzy. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. How are things in your part of the country? Yeah, so Pat, just don't stress over that stuff. Keep focused on good stuff. If you focus on the negative happens, remember? So, and you got too many other things you want to accomplish. And so just keep working on all the good stuff. So that was my recommendation. But it's not like I know anything. I just happen to be the smartest person in the whole entire room.
Okay, I'm the second, I guess.
I'm good. Hope you're doing well. Yep, we survived the operation. That was yesterday. Recovered today.
Who's Ozzy?
He's up from a good guy up from New Hampshire. So good guy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I don't know if you met him or not. He's a good guy.
No, it's my first. I'm the one on the doing the chat time to time.
Ozzy, this is my troublemaking wife. If you haven't met her yet. So,
I'm the one behind the scene, but now I take my day off.
I'll try it. Having a day off. So. Hello, nice to meet you, young lady.
There's no young lady there.
Yeah, I know, but I ad lib. Look, one of the rules is I get to read the chat how I want to read the chat. I mean, I ad lib what people write all the time to make it sound better for me.
Accusing you.
Oh, Lily. Lily thinks it's bedtime. So, I mean, look. I mean, right there he says, hello, nice to meet you, young lady. You're the luckiest person in the world to be married to David. See? You know? I mean, I don't lie. I just explain what they really mean. You know? It's just kind of the way it is.
Is that what you meant, Ozzy?
See, Scott says, hello, Ozzy. Our good friend Scott in Australia. Scott, Lorelai was asking how the family is. See?
Bias.
See?
Bias.
You know? See?
I know, Lily.
You think I don't know what I'm talking about? You think I don't know what I'm
Right,
talking about? So, Scott says she is doing well.
Why it's hot here? It's always hot here.
Yeah, it's just you.
It's cold in the other side.
Nah, it's just you. That's because there's no air here.
What Lily? Steven.
All right, let's see. Rainbow lorikeets. That's what his birds are. Yeah. Cool birds.
She has parrots there?
Parakeets? Are they parrots? Yeah, parrots are in Australia, right?
Yeah,
So are they
lorikeets,
part
like
of
a
the
small...
lorikeets are
Yeah.
is a part of the parrot family?
Yeah, like a... Has those kind of...
Are you thinking maybe macaws, like those great big parrots? I don't know. Does Australia have great big parrots like the macaws and things?
Yeah, they do.
I don't think they do. I think that's only like in the jungle land. Just resting up before she works.
Ah, she's in second shift also, huh?
Well, it's 2 a.m. there. She's
2
probably going.
p.m.
Oh, is it 2 p.m. up there?
It was
Wherever.
2 p.m. right there.
Yeah,
Scroll it
okay.
up.
Nah,
2 p.m. there.
that's all right.
Boy, he's up to 2 a.m. by the way.
I don't know. Maybe it was 2 p.m.
Who's the smartest
What?
in the room now?
Me. Me. So, yeah. Let me see. I think we're going to wind this down. Well, all right, folks. I think we're going to start winding this down. I've gotten a little tired. I feel like I got a little bit of jet lag from the surgery. So, the better half of David, that's right. Lily is here, my dog. You know. Don't the women folk always think they're the better half? You know, that's what I think is funny. The women folk always think they're the better half. They never go, no, my husband's the better half. They always think they're the better halves. I don't know why that is. Well, everybody, let's start saying goodbye to each other. I think I'm going to go lay down and get some rest. So, Ozzy, I know you came in late,
Oh,
but we
Dennis is
appreciate you.
there.
Yeah, Dennis has been here all night.
I just listening.
Yeah, he hangs out in the background in case some girls come
Yeah.
in.
David got this.
Look, she's assaulting me. Call the police again. You want to see my patch? Look, I've been patched over.
It's swelling.
It is.
It is.
What?
It's okay. It's okay.
That's my battle wound. CJ's in day camp. Nice.
I was working.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Dennis.
Ozzy, I appreciate that. We'll do another live stream here soon. Trust me. We'll be on again. Dennis, that's what he does. He just, he has my back, In case any pretty women come on, Dennis is here to handle them. To keep them from interrupting and bothering my live stream, Dennis is here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he protects me from them. Hey, Dennis. Yes, 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 yes. So,
Hi, all.
yeah. All right, today's Wednesday. We'll probably do a live stream in a couple of days. But we appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for the kind words. Everybody say goodbye to Lorelei and one another. And just keep plowing through, doing your thing, and don't stress over anything because life is too short to stress. So, all right, my friends. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Good girl. Now we gotta go over here and turn the camera off. Yeah.
All right, Lily. Lily, one's here or the other side of your closer to you?